A Thread of Deceit is flat out a supremely exploitative piece of trash and a waste of money. This documentary clocks in at 57 minutes and was $20, and you're gonna feel so bad about watching it, you might find yourself doing what me and a lot of other people did, which is to go on Amazon and write a review. I've never written a review on Amazon about a movie before, but I just had to. I don't know how the filmmakers did this, but they somehow turned 57 minutes into the longest 57 minutes of my life. The adoptive parents, Jen and Sarah, flat out abused and exploited those poor children. Black children are not props. Like Devante wanted to hug a bongo player. The last 5 minutes were especially sickening. I mean, the adoptive parents abused, exploited, and murdered 6 children, but these filmmakers definitely took it a step further by exploiting them in death. And these friends of Jen and Sarah. Listen, loyalty is an admirable trait, but defending child abusers is disgusting. There's another documentary series on Amazon about multiple murders, about Ted Bundy. Falling for a Killer also has interviews with people close to Ted Bundy who didn't know what was going on. Interviews with his brother and his ex-girlfriend. They do not spend any time defending him. I'm going to give you some advice. If someone you know and love is suddenly revealed to be a monster and you had no idea that this person is a monster, what should you do if a documentary crew knocks on your door and wants to talk to you? Do not talk to them. Wait a couple decades. Talk to a lawyer. Really, take a poll on Twitter. I mean, yikes. These friends of Jen and Sarah really are working overtime to defend them and blame the whole thing on online bullying. It seemed to me that the experiences these hippy-dippy white people friends of Sarah and Jen had with the children at such and such music festival, where 6 children would happily, aggressively hug them, it seemed that it was more important to those people interviewed that they believed that those were authentic reactions to their presence. And that's the thing that's preventing these selfish people from accepting the truth that these were teenagers forced to act happy and being forced to sing songs that they are so provided for by 2 monsters. The truth is, if they didn't sing loud enough or smile hard enough, food would be withheld and other punishments inflicted upon them. They forget how talented children can be. Poor Devante was working his ass off like a young Michael Jackson. This documentary was biased in favor of the 2 child abusers. Those women were monsters. If a child says they are being starved, believe children. Honestly, to insinuate that supporters of Black Lives Matter were giddy about being right about these 2 monsters is beyond gross. And guess what? Monsters can also look like hippy-dippy festival goers. And sometimes monsters force their victims to act a certain way when they're around people. I liked the lawyer in Texas, Dante Davis, and Octavio. And the ending. Let's just talk about the ending. Spoiler alert, it ends with a montage of various clips of these poor children being forced to look happy and accompanied by an original song. Because guess what we get to learn? Everybody that's being interviewed can sing. Those poor kids deserve better. Not this bullshit. It was confusing and agonizing to sit through. I was just yelling at the TV. Poor kids exploited in life and death. If you want to know what really happened, go to YouTube and watch No Heart, the tragic story of the Hart Kids by Jon Chrymes. Jon does an eye-opening, in-depth exploration of what really happened. He explains how there exists no child protective services system for tracking child abuse between regions or states. It's really, really good. Chrymes also includes racist photos Sarah and Jen took of their malnourished teenage children that were not included in this trash documentary. In conclusion, don't waste your money. Instead, give $20 to Jon Chrymes. Become a Patreon or something. That will be money well spent. Another sad thing about this story is that the photos that the kids were forced to take where they look happy, once you know what was happening, those photos are really disturbing. I included a link from theappeal.org. Before children's grisly deaths, a family fought for them and lost. It makes everything all the more tragic. I have links below with the articles I mentioned and a link to Jon Chrymes' video.